What's up, cool kids? FD White. So we talked about this over on the channel for a couple days. We talked about going into FOMC. Watch out for a wrong move or a false move, and then we'll probably get the move coming a few days later. So all weekend it was pretty boring, but then we got this major pullback in Bitcoin and crypto today. So we're gonna look and see what I think can happen in the immediate short term. We're gonna look at the liquidation heat map first and foremost to see where Bitcoin could go liquidity wise, which is what I use for like my North Star sometimes when it comes to the direction, short term direction of the market, short term direction of Bitcoin. Then we're going to look at Ethereum, going to look at Solana, then we're going to get out of here. We're not going to keep you too long. If you would, please hit that like, subscribe. I appreciate you. Helps the channel grow, helps me out. Just trying to get the message out there in a cool, calm, collected way. We are the cool kids. Link will be in the description or the pinned comment for the free Telegram as well. So with all that out the way, let's jump into what I'm looking at right now. So the liquidation heat map shows where liquidity lies, where the market makers are sometimes likely to move the markets, or where the markets will go in the short term in order to grab some of this liquidity. So we have a lot of people stop losses coming in around 110, 111, a little under 111 and a half, going all the way down to 110 and a half. And then we actually have some liquidity lying below us or above us, sitting around anywhere between 113 and a half going up to about 114,000. So which direction is it going to go first? Which way is it going to go first to grab some of that liquidity? So we can't predict the future, but we will be ready for some moves. So keep those in mind. We do have, like I said, a little bit below. We have a little bit above. So keep that in mind once we go to the charts, and then we take the charts, and then we can see if we have any confluence with some of those areas when it comes to the liquidation heat map, and when it comes to certain or big support resistance levels that we've been watching over the past few months. So right now Bitcoin is sitting at 112,300, and this is a pivotal level because this is our all-time high going back, I think, at the beginning of the summer. So we want to hold this. We do definitely want to hold this, but all is not lost if we lose it. And I say that because of this. At the beginning of September, we did come down. Actually, September 1st, we did come down to 107,380, give or take, depending on your exchange. So that could be the low. We want that to be the low. And if that is the low, we will be looking for what? A pullback and a higher low. We'll be looking for a higher low. So going back to that liquidation heat map, what did we see? We saw we had a lot of liquidity lying somewhere between 111.5 going down to 110.5. So if that were to play out, what would that look like, and would that be in alignment with what we are talking about, creating some sort of a higher low? So if we came down, let's say we had, look right here. So we have all this here. We have price action here, resistance, came back down, resistance again, support, and we bounced perfectly off this level around Sunday, September 7th. And now it may look like we are coming back down to this 110.5K level, which is, if we go back to the liquidation heat map, we have liquidity coming all in that area right there. So that's what I'll be looking at for Bitcoin. That's what I'll be looking at for the overall Bitcoin scope. And if that happens, what happen? We'll just be creating a higher low. So that's what I'll be looking at, and hopefully that does play out for Bitcoin. I mean, in the short term, we've been trying to hold certain key levels. We have 112, we have 116,000, which we haven't been able to stay above for the most part. It's here, we got rejected here. We held it a little bit, then when we lost it again, held it as support, held it as resistance for a couple of days, finally got back above it, but then what? Held it as resistance, fell below, held as resistance again, and now this $116,300 level, give or take, is acting as major resistance once again. So we'll keep our eyes out on Bitcoin. As long as we don't take out this low here, I don't think we have anything to worry about. I really don't want to take out this low, especially going towards the tail end of September, going into October, which we do think is going to be a pretty bullish time for the market. So don't fret, don't worry yet. It's not time to worry yet. I think we'll be fine as long as we hold, those key levels, or this key level that we talked about. Really want to just hold this yellow bar. Even if we do come down for a swing failure pattern and reclaim really quick, we just don't really want to keep holding or hold this low as resistance or stay below that low. We want to just create the better scenario, the scenario that we really want will be a higher low, even if it came down a little bit more, coming down to about anywhere between 110 to 109 thousand, and then starting to reclaim some of these levels and going up. So we'll continue to watch Bitcoin. We'll continue to watch the overall market. And speaking of the overall market, let's talk about Ethereum really quick, and then we'll jump into Solana, and then we'll get out of here. Right now, Ethereum is just in a range, and it's really not too much to talk about. We're just going to look at this from a zoomed out perspective. Look at the range that we're in. We have a low coming in at about 4,100. We have a high coming in at about 4,800. Range low, range high, range low, range high. Almost got to that range low. Went back to the range high. Now what? Range low. So we're just ranging. Ethereum is just in a $700 range. So the probable thing, if everything plays out, if everything aligns, if Bitcoin holds this 112,000, give or take, I think we'll just go back to range highs. And I mean, we can mosey along, come back down possibly for a double bottom on the daily, then go back up. But I really don't want to lose this. I don't want to get out of this range. We've been in this range ever since basically the beginning of August. So I want to continue to hold this range for Ethereum. If we lose that, I mean, we do have our upper sloping trend line, which we started all the way back at the Liberation crash or Liberation Day, but it was really a crash, which came in, at the beginning of April. And we just been riding this up. We just been riding this trend line up. A lot of these coins have just been in trend lines. So even if we did lose this range, we do have, like I said, this upper sloping trend line that started. We don't want to lose this. This is coming in at 3,500. And this is if the market gets bad. If the market gets really, really bad over the next week or so. So I'm really not even looking at this level. But even if we lost this level and we started to come down, we'll have some some support coming in at about 3,800. But even if we started to go down, a lot of people be like, oh, cycle over, cycle over. But as long as we're holding this upper sloping trend line, we have this horizontal coming in confluence as well. I think the market will be okay. Like, we can come down. That's the thing. We can come down. Like, not a lot, but we can definitely come down. I think Bitcoin's bull market support band is coming in at about, not the bull market support band, but the it might be like the 200-week SMA. I think that might be with a 50-week SMA. I think that's coming in about 90 to 95,000. So I think that was my line in the sand for Bitcoin bull market. So I think if something happens where the market really starts to nuke, just watch for these multi-week upward sloping trend lines to be broken. And of course, a lot of people use moving averages and things like that. But I'll be looking out for some of these these trend lines that I drew. I have one for Bitcoin that I drew all the way from like October of 2023. And this is how I got my bull market. This is how I'm gauging my bull market. So yeah, at the beginning mid-September, we started this trend, and we just been riding this basically for 2 years, and we're still above it. As long as we're above this trend line, for me, for Bitcoin, I think we'll be fine. And like I said, Ethereum, we're still above this trend line, 3,500. It's looking like would be a price point to, if we lose that, it would be time to get a little bit worried. And then last but not least, Solana, coming in, looking at Solana. This one has been in an uptrend too. Not a big uptrend, not a long uptrend, but it has been in a multi-week uptrend ever since the beginning of August. So we just came down, up, down, up, down, up. We just been riding this. We riding this, and we just lost it. We're also at a major horizontal coming in at about 210 to 215. So we're sitting at about 216.91 right now. So for Solana, it's just this simple. This is where my strategy will come in, and this is how I'm going to start making some money once the market does recover. If the market does recover in the immediate short term, reclaim, retest, react. If we reclaim this upper sloping trend line, this is very, very bullish. This is very, very bullish. Then I think we can, make our way back up to like 250, make our way to our targets at 270, 280, and ultimately getting up to that $300 mark. So Solana's going to do well. I think it has like some ETF decisions coming in mid-October. We'll be watching out for that. And I think the overall health of the market is still pretty good. It's just, it's a different cycle. So it's definitely a different cycle. We've been adjusting to the different cycle, the differences in this cycle than the last. And we'll continue to, continue to keep everybody updated, continue to, give people what I'm thinking. And, hopefully it can help. And if you find some value, make sure you like, subscribe, come over to the free Telegram. Link will be in the pinned comments. and we'll just continue to keep everybody updated. And hopefully, I can help in your journey, in your crypto journey, because it's been a tougher journey. I will say that it's been a tougher journey this cycle, but it's always opportunity. Sometimes we gotta be a little bit patient, and sometimes we have to adjust, take our money quicker, pay ourselves quicker, take profits quicker, and do a little bit more due diligence, a little bit more digging when we try to get in some of these coins, and not hold them as long as we did in the past, which goes along to taking profits a little bit quicker. So this is FD White. Appreciate you for watching. Appreciate all the new subscribers, all the old subscribers, everybody who supports. If you found some value, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you in a minute. Peace.